You may be looking at a map of Klamath Falls and see a dot that says Altamont and think that they were two different towns. And do a search of Altamont, Oregon, and AI makes it seem like they are two different towns, but they're not. But back in the day, they were two distinct separate towns. Linkville, which later became Klamath Falls, was separated from Altamont by miles of countryside. There was the city of Klamath Falls, and then out towards Altamont, there was timber mills, there was a tavern, there was some other small businesses, but they were two distinct and separate towns. Then progress brought them closer together, and Altamont was vacated as a town in 1933, but since it did exist technically, and it is a census designated place, which is a spot defined by population but not considered an official town because it has no government and it was never incorporated. Altamont technically exists, but it's as a census designated place, but it isn't its own town. It doesn't have its own government. It's not incorporated. So Altamont exists on a map, but people that live here in Klamath Falls don't say they live in Altamont. They live in Klamath Falls. Altamont is almost like a neighborhood, like a subdivision or something in the way that the locals think about it, but it is definitely not a separate town. And I'll throw up a map here of what the maps say that Altamont is. It says it goes all the way out to KCC, or Klamath Community College, KCC, but for those of us that live here, we think that Altamont exists like kind of around the fairgrounds. It's the south suburbs, around in that area. It's definitely not considered as huge as the maps programs make it look. So if you look on AI and see that Altamont is a town of 19,000 people and it makes it seem like its own entity, maybe because it's a census designated place, but it's definitely not a town. It's definitely not an incorporated city, and it's definitely not a separate entity from Klamath Falls. One blurs into the other now, and there's no signs that say welcome to Altamont or anything. It's just a section of Klamath Falls. Thanks for joining me.